and all the noise coming from the Irish. And the game is on. Ireland in green and white, playing right to left. And Liam Brady's first long ball, seeking out Stapleton. Galvin trying to bustle in, and that's the Luxembourg goalkeeper, John Rijswijck. They have as their manager, Luxembourg, Philipp, who played 14 seasons as a pro in Belgium with Stade Liège. But the raw material on which to work from a Grand Duchy with a population of only 350,000 is not that great. Stapleton and Galvin combining. Now Brady. You should enjoy this experience on an absolutely perfect pitch, beautifully manicured. Stapleton down for Galvin. And that's the first free kick of the night, given against the Luxembourg defence. A shrill blast on the whistle of the Swiss referee. Mick Byrne, glad I'm sure that he's not being called into service. And Jack the cap. As ever, that cap atop the head of the man who's guiding Ireland's footballing fortunes now. Houghton's free kick, and hoofed away there by Weis for a corner to Ireland. The first corner, 75 seconds played. Brady and McCarthy at the back post, and Houghton there, and somehow they kept it out. The fist of Rijswijck, and now Galvin. No obstruction to the referee, and Galvin eventually fouled, and he's already come in for some particularly tough attention from the Luxembourg defence. Another foul on Tony Galvin, another free kick to Ireland. Galvin back to win his 19th cap after that knee problem, already proving a thorn to the Luxembourgers. It's Whelan with a free kick. McCarthy again at the far side, but couldn't direct the header back into the danger zone. Encouraging start in terms of territorial advantage. I hope it continues that way. Dave Langan there beside Jack Charlton, one of the substitutes on the night. And plenty of support from the travelling Irish faithful. And that will be a throw to Luxembourg. 1 goal scored, 19 conceded in their 4 European Championship matches so far. Very much the whipping boys of Group 7, and the qualifiers for Germany most likely to be the team that has scored and scored well against Luxembourg. Hellers, one of the 2 full-time professionals, and Barboni still there, but again the whistle from the Swiss referee, Enzo Peduzzi. Houghton. That's Aldridge trying to get in at the back. Girres. Oh, what a bad ball. Brady. Galvin. Aldridge in the middle, but Girres covering the error and giving away the corner. A very slack pass it was from this fella. Set up the opportunity. And Ray Houghton, who takes the corner. Big men have pushed up. Mick McCarthy is in the box. Houghton with the strike. But too close to the keeper. And McCarthy making a mistake. This is Langer's. Fortunate for Ireland that there was no support. A rare mistake from a man, Mick McCarthy, who has had such splendid games for Ireland, notably last Saturday in the defeat of Brazil. John Anderson looking for the head of Aldridge, and Aldridge said to have fouled his man. Luxembourg on the move again. Schonckert. Hellers. And now Reiter. And Brady with the tackle. If that had taken place in Lansdowne Road, he might have accepted it. That's, of course, with the rugby post up. Houghton. John Anderson. Houghton again. A little bit of a chant from the home support. Aldridge, Houghton offside. And he was right under the nose of the linesman, so there can't really be much doubt about that. That's the Luxembourg coach, Paul Philipp. Thanks to staff trying to run a team on such slender resources. This Ireland's third visit to Luxembourg. They were here for a World Cup match in 1954, so 33 years since last they played here. Both occasions, and indeed on the meeting in Dublin, Ireland have beaten Luxembourg, played 3-1-3. And no serious suggestion that they won't win here tonight. The question is, how do they win? Stapleton for Galvin. Up goes Houghton. McGrath to knock it back. Coming down for Anderson. And the part-timers tidying their lines. Big fellow with the beard is Marcel Bossi. And the goalkeeper, Rijswijck. Paul McGrath holding his man, Théo Malget. Free kick for Luxembourg. And the first threat to be created in front of Pat Bonner. Now, doubtless they'll have worked on the training ground on just such situations. Peduzzi making sure the 10 meters rule is observed. And now Luxembourg will take the free kick. The fair old Biff Benny Reiter hit it, judged by the rebound. But the defense was well marshaled. Now Whelan. Galvin. Stapleton and Brady. It's Houghton. Anderson moving outside him. And the cross is behind. John Anderson offering the support up the right, but unable to dig out the cross. I must say, this is the most pleasant environment to watch a football match. Compact little stadium. A long way from being one of the great soccer venues of Europe, but nonetheless, a pleasant place. And that the atmosphere is a little less frantic than we usually expect at a European Championship match. This municipal stadium in the area of Luxembourg known as Differdange has a capacity of 10,000. And as I was saying, about 3,000 to 3,500 in here tonight for this match. It's also the venue, you may recall, in which England supporters ran amok 4 years ago, which explains the very heavy security presence here. But, as usual, the travelling Irish fans, models of good behaviour. A group of travelling supporters, it must be said, it's very pleasant to be associated with. Let's hope they get the result they've come to see. 10 minutes of the match gone. Luxembourg 0, Republic of Ireland 0. Moran up to Aldridge and down to Brady. Houghton might take advantage here. Malget tying himself in knots. Assistance from Weis. And the cheer for the fact that he extricated himself. But now what? Offside. Put the Luxembourg soccer situation into perspective. There are probably more clubs in junior football in Greater Dublin than there are in this country. 216 the total. They're holding on grimly. The 11 men representing a small soccer nation. Ray Houghton. Brady available in the middle if he wants him. That's played for Galvin. Galvin's cross. Bossi. Up to Langers. And Langers throw to Malget. Hellers. One of the two full-timers in the team. Langers is the other. Benny Reiter, by contrast, is a bank official. And he's found Girres. And that was worth a try. But Bonner equal to the situation. Now Houghton to lead the counter. Galvin running ahead. And Hellers. Well read by Moran. Stapleton. Whelan and Brady. Houghton. Looking for Aldridge. The keeper was always favoured there. And in any case, this is a continental fashion. The referee seeing a foul against the keeper on behalf of John Aldridge. Girres. Rather overhit.
Kev, here, I'll throw to you.
And now Whelan had a fine game at left back against Brazil until he was taken off as a precaution. To see him fit here. Anderson. And Aldridge battling on, but again, a judge still fouled his man. Fair old kick, but meat and drink to Mick McCarthy. Stapleton finding Houghton. Well, the coarse and blatant body check by Marcel Bossi, who was about to be skinned by Ray Houghton. And that's a free kick to the Republic of Ireland. Coming up to a quarter of an hour gone. Brady to Anderson. Away by Hellers. Moran. And Galvin. McGrath. Whelan. And Brady. Stapleton was pushed off it there. The referee saw nothing wrong. I'm sure they'd like to think there'd be a goal in the bag by now. Patience very much the name of the game. So point of getting yourself frustrated, the scores aren't coming. Not at this stage, anyway. Aldridge. Anderson. Houghton is not offside. Weis was taking no chances. Another corner. This time Liam Brady going across. Is varied. Looking for McCarthy's head, and McGrath was who got there in the end. They had McCarthy, Moran, McGrath, Aldridge all in there, but the one who had it at the finish was not the one who has the clearest sight of goal. Girres, cut out by Whelan. Stapleton. And now Brady. Anderson. Houghton. Galvin, rather. And right first time, it was Ray Houghton. Galvin is in the middle. Houghton's cross posing those bets. Hellers. Langers, the two full-timers together. Bossi. Trying to do things the right way. Keep the possession. Move it forward. Hellers, Langers, fouled by Mick McCarthy, and the free kick to Luxembourg. Now they've only one man in the penalty area, rather more around the ball. And roll for Hellers. They seem to lose their place a little there, Luxembourg. Possibly just as well. Hellers. Barboni. And Bossi. Barboni. Malget. Reiter, Malget, and an elementary mistake letting them down in the end. So Ray Houghton for Ireland. Stapleton. Lack of understanding there. Girres, Barboni, and Langers. Well, that was off the hand of Kevin Moran, but seemed to have played him. Unintentional handball. Throw into Luxembourg. What results? 20 minutes gone. No goals as yet. They wanted the free kick. The referee quite adamant. That's quite right too. Langers. Now Brady. Houghton. Brady once more. And words of rebuke for the Luxembourger. Hellers, as the ball is now with Houghton. Played too close to the goalkeeper. Ball still in play. The copybook tackle by John Anderson to win back possession. Houghton. And Houghton again. Anderson. And Madra coming in again. And while he won the header, he couldn't direct it onto the goal. Midway through the first half of the score sheet, still blank. Firmly won by McCarthy. They've done that rather neatly. Barboni, Reiter. And now with Girres. Moran skipping away from that. And Brady fouled by his opposite number. Houghton. Oh, Bossi taking a tumble. Aldridge went for the ball. And offside has been accepted as having occurred, but the game allowed to continue. Nice to see a referee do that. Often you'll find they tend to blow the whistle simply because the flag goes up. Aldridge. Houghton. Anderson. And nobody's gone in there. John Aldridge claiming the ball hadn't left the penalty area. Notice Kevin Moran is hobbling. He took a knock a couple of minutes ago. We shall hope that whatever injury he has can be run off. Whelan for Galvin. How often have we seen him in full flight like that? There's the cross. McGrath and Stapleton rather ruined it for each other. One would have been quite sufficient to jump for that ball. And that's Moran in a little bit of trouble. The throw to Luxembourg. The right back, Laurent Schonckert. Girres. And then sets Hellers free. Langer's in the middle. And Anderson getting it away. Great buzz for the Luxembourg crowd when things start to move their way. The expectation that something might be on for them. But nothing came there, and now it's Galvin again. A good block by Girres. Galvin motoring up the touchline has won Ireland the corner. Judged by the crowd, you think it was an Irish home match. Houghton then to the corner. And once more the goalkeeper left to rise unchallenged. Now that was good by Ronnie Whelan. But really when Ireland are putting the ball into the box, the goalkeeper Rijswijck is being left to jump unhindered. The defence isn't being unsettled in the way that it should be. And more unable to scamper after that, injury or not. Brady winning it back well, but then unable to regain his footing. Hellers. Reiter. Hellers again. Brady on his knees. Langers. And that was a very good shot by Robby Langers. And Bonner doing well to hold it at the second attempt. Now this is one of the two full-time professionals of the team. Langers. He knows that he's got power in the shot. Set up for him by the other full-timer. And what's this? Really putting it on the target. And Bonner doing very well to stop it and get it at the second attempt. But back live. Anderson for Brady. Towards McGrath. And put out by Bossi. John Aldridge. Yes, John Aldridge in the box. Seeking his first goal in 12 international appearances. Houghton's the cross. And Aldridge was going in then, but once more the keeper put under no real pressure. And Galvin. Throw this time. Tony Galvin's certainly been operating to good effect up the wing. It's what's been happening in the middle that's been a bit of a letdown. Whelan. And he was fouled. Pulled down as he tried to bustle away through, and the free kick is something here from which Ireland might benefit. Whelan trying to make the angle for out of the pass of the shot was then pulled down. And maybe there'll be something for Ireland out of all this nonetheless. Or can Luxembourg organise defensively to negate the threat? That wall is right on the edge of the penalty area, as you see. Brady over the top. Stapleton up. Well, that's an indication of what might be the Luxembourg marking understandably slack. Stapleton got his free header, but once again unable to direct it onto the goal. Free kick floated towards the far post. Brady, Stapleton coming in unhindered. We might have had one there, but we didn't. And we've reached half an hour gone, and it's still 0-0. Well, those are the two new Glasgow Celtic teammates together. Mick McCarthy, who's now joined Paddy Bonner at Parkhead, sending the ball back to his new goalkeeper. Aldridge. That was a handball. I wonder, did he really expect to get away with that? Maybe watching too much of Maradona. McCarthy for Houghton. And Aldridge. And nothing there again. Now, anxiety has to be creeping into it now for Ireland. Half an hour of the match played. They've had the lion's share of possession. But yet they've seen a fair old shot rifled in. And in fact, that one shot from Robby Langers for Luxembourg probably posing more threat than anything the Irish have mustered to date. There's no question they've been able to attack up the flanks and get the ball into the middle, but what's been happening in front of goal hasn't really troubled Rijswijck, the goalkeeper. McGrath. Brady. And another handball. This time, Guy Hellers. And that'll have to come back. The referee wasn't quite ready for that free kick to be taken. I think, more to the point, the fact that the free kick wasn't taken from where he reckoned it should have been. Brady towards Stapleton again. And that's Malget back, but now Houghton. Brady. Malget robbing him. Langers. Reiter. Well, it's sweet looking build up until Moran read the danger signs. Came to tidy it up. And you do feel that the sparring has gone on long enough, and if the desired result is to be forthcoming, the Luxembourg defences will have to be breached, and breached soon. Anderson. And he's got himself a free kick out of that. Swiss linesman right there to see the foul. Studies in concentration on the Irish bench. Houghton towards McCarthy. Aldridge is waiting, and Aldridge is there, and Aldridge is put in the top of the crossbar. Well, that was a very close thing. He battled in there. Houghton's free kick. Aldridge never gave up, McCarthy knocking it back in. And when it came down, Aldridge was in there battling with the three of them and got the shot over the goalkeeper, and it could well have fallen into the net, but just fractionally too high onto the bar and away. So nothing to cheer as yet. Mick Byrne feeling the frustration of it all. Now Brady. And Hellers is possessing him. Whelan this time. Houghton. And Houghton still going on. Aldridge. And Bossi got in to block him. But they did prize open the defence. It's been a very disciplined defensive performance by Luxembourg, but against that, a team, a full-time professional team, or a team made up of full-time professional players, as the Irish one is, should have rather more shots in its locker than what we've seen so far. Houghton. And now Whelan. Stapleton. And nobody in that inside right channel to take advantage. McCarthy. Strongly through. It's Reiter now for Luxembourg. And as ever, support on the right from Girres. for once a free kick to Luxembourg. I wonder, is he pondering adjusting the formation at half-time? Free kick from Hellers, headed away by McGrath, who was in any case fouled as he went for the high ball. 10 minutes to half-time. Still Luxembourg 0, Republic of Ireland 0. And just at this pause in the play, the mind can drift back to Lansdowne Road last Saturday. Ireland 1-0 up on Brazil, and Niall Quinn was introduced, and certainly unsettled a vastly more experienced defence than the one that's up against Ireland tonight. Houghton, poor ball. And it might not be by any means a bad substitution to introduce the big lad from Arsenal at the break. Certainly it's been a question of sending the ball in the air towards the front men. They're not having a great deal of success. And no matter about the pretty football in this quarter, if they're not doing it in the final third, we might as well not have come. Brady to Galvin. And again, the defence well marshalled. Yet another Irish corner. Brady for Houghton this time. Now Whelan. So Galvin a bit short, and it's broken for Houghton. And Brady now. And the cross. Too far for the head of Frank Stapleton. And as McGrath came in, so another corner was won. And the ball has found its way into the Luxembourg penalty area regularly enough. But that's where it's all broken down. Houghton. McCarthy going up. Goal kick. Yes, the old Irish goal-scoring problem is manifesting itself here in the Grand Duchy of Luxembourg. 38 minutes now played. Not a sniff of a goal. And I say Luxembourg delighted with the way things have gone so far. And that must be a measure of the frustration that Ireland are feeling. Girres. And now Brady. Galvin. Aldridge in the middle. Brady to try to find a way through towards McGrath. And again, the goalkeeper not forced to exert himself. And now Anderson. Unexpected Houghton to have run for him. The little fella hadn't. And once again, the attack petering out. But we have to say, really, that this is not good. 2 points would, of course, be fine, but the massive difference in the goals scored among the other teams in the group in Ireland really mean that a 1-0 win or a low-scoring win is just next to useless. If the Irish are going to be serious about moving on to Germany, the European Championship finals, then it has to be a win with goals on the board. 5 minutes to half-time, and there's no sign of that. Galvin, Whelan going on the overlap. Galvin trying to show the way. And now Robby Langers. Support on the outside from Benny Reiter. And Malget was almost presented with the opportunity of scoring a sensational goal. And the old centre-half will not have been happy about that. Robby Langers, this full-timer from Belgium, making the ground. Great support on the outside from Reiter. And it was a great cross from Reiter that offered the opportunity to Malget in the middle. Good early delivery. And a full-time professional might have made more than that. So two good opportunities to Luxembourg, two clearer-cut chances than the Irish have managed to fashion for all their possession. And really fortunate that it's still 0-0. Everything had been committed to attack. Nobody picked up Malget bursting through. And a man of more football experience than Guile might well have gone in feet first and beaten Paddy Bonner. And Langers after it again. And this time Reiter's in the middle. Langers for Reiter. McCarthy did the job well. Whelan. Stapleton chasing a hopeless cause. Less than 3 minutes now to half-time. This really is not what we came to see. Hellers. Foul against Moran. Carlo Weis will take the free kick. Playing on his home ground, he plays for Sport Luxembourg, and they play here. I'm sure he wished in front of his own fans he could have done better than that. That's John Byrne, who played against the Brazilians on Saturday. Got into the panel on the strength of his reputation as a goal scorer. But unlikely that he'll be called into action before the break, which is due in less than a minute and a half from now. Well, I'm sure they're feeling the frustration too, despite the fact that they're still in good voice. Back at the other end, Galvin trying to get in, and Galvin has done it! A minute from half-time, Tony Galvin breaks the deadlock and eases the frustration. The ball pulled in from the right, and Galvin, who's been Ireland's best attacker in this first half, in to punish a rare defensive lapse on the Luxembourgers' part, and the outstretched leg just poking it past the goalkeeper Rijswijck. And Ireland, at last, at long last, are in front. And Tony Galvin has got his first goal for his country. Well, I think we should all be grateful for that, because had it lasted to the break, scoreless, I think we could have been in for a very frustrating time in the second half, but that should at least ease the pressure, convince them that this defence is there for the taking, and make life a lot more bearable after half-time. Frank Stapleton leading the side. I feel a weight has gone off his shoulders as well. Galvin down, Aldridge going in. And it seems as if he is fated not to score. Girres, Reiter, and now Hellers. McCarthy in. We're well into added time, over a minute of it played. The ball played back, the whistle has sounded a foul by John Aldridge, and in fact there's no time for any more. And so Jack Chardon has the chance to go indoors and tell us then what he really thought of that first half performance. And I wouldn't have thought there'd be too many good words to say, because for all their possession, the Irish had a precious little to show for it. And it was really only a minute from half-time that the breakthrough came, that Tony Galvin found the way through to nick the goal and put Ireland in front. Half-time then in the Municipal Stadium in Luxembourg. The score is Luxembourg 0, Republic of Ireland 1. Back to the Irish fans, I'm sure delighted that Tony Galvin nicked that goal, but in general around the ground the feeling among the spectators, certainly on this side anyway at half-time, those to whom I spoke, was one of dissatisfaction with the first half performance and hoping for something better in the second period. So Ireland playing left to right in this second half. Malget, he nearly scored for Luxembourg in the first half on the ball. Now it's Langers. Free kick, foul on Langers. And Ray Houghton having his unsaintly work. Robby Langers, French second division player. And Benny Reiter, not doing the simple thing terribly well. Floodlights on here, though it's still quite bright. An interesting contrast in Central European weather. A balmy night in Vienna last night, the European Cup final. Here there's a distinct chill in the air after a very pleasant, bright and sunny day. Temperatures up to 70 Fahrenheit. Brady, Aldridge, and on towards Galvin. And Meunier went underneath him. I wonder what he had to say at half-time to the Luxembourg team. The goal they conceded was more a defensive mistake than anything else. But I suppose we should be thankful for small mercies. We bear in mind that Belgium put 6 past this Luxembourg team in this very stadium. It's a measure of the problems facing Ireland in this second half. Bulgaria lead the group. Their goal difference is 7 plus 7. Belgium in second place, with whom Ireland will draw level if they win here tonight, are plus 9. But the Irish goal difference at the moment is plus 1. Aldridge held up. Those are Luxembourg. Hellers. Heading technique, not the greatest. Wasn't the greatest the passes forward from Liam Brady. Well, Brady in to win it back. Aldridge, the 1-2 played with Brady falling over. Was looking for the foul, but the referee saw nothing untoward. Girres. Reiter. And Girres has continued the run up the wing. The crowd like that. Reiter's going to go in the middle. It's cut out by Ronnie Whelan. Well, neither of them knew which to go for the ball. It's given it back to Luxembourg. And Langers pounding on the rock of McGrath. Now Brady. John Byrne. Looking for Aldridge. And he got there to make the contact, but fouled the defender in doing so. John Aldridge there, back of the picture, is struggling to find the goal touch that got him his reputation and put him into this international team. He's now in his 12th match for Ireland and he still hasn't scored. It's not a record of which any striker would be particularly proud. Malget. John Anderson in complete command. It's Mick Byrne, Irish physiotherapist. Man very much with his heart in the job and feels the pain when it's not going well for the team. Well, that was a very good ball to release Langers. Reiter in the middle. And it might yet come to Malget. John Anderson sticking to his guns. And play on. And the referee again coming in for abuse from the home crowd. But they were still battling for the ball. And eventually it appeared. John Anderson, meanwhile, has come away from that challenge, feeling his left thigh. There might be the hint of a hamstring problem there. Brady. Oh, yes, he beat that rather crude attempt at a tackle. Brady. And Aldridge couldn't connect. It's come towards Ronnie Whelan. Whelan, Stapleton taking a tumble. And again, the ball, the final ball, in the final third of the field, not all that it might be. John Anderson is in considerable trouble, the right back, and has been signaling to the bench that he may have to come off. There's Anderson, number 2 in your picture, moving less than sweetly. And he is in considerable pain with that left thigh. David Langan is already warming up. And this would be particularly unfortunate if Anderson did have to go off, because that would be the end of the substitutions. And I don't think I'm the only one here who feels that there might be room for another striker in the Irish lineup. Anderson is going to come off. Langan is peeling off the tracksuit. So after that odd passage of play with Anderson on his knees, as Byrne tries to curl the shot, Dave Langan is going to have to be called into the fray. John Anderson, stout defender. He played very well against Brazil too, but not clearly fit to continue. And at the next break in play, David Langan is going to go on. And he can come on now. And sad end to this match for John Anderson. His 13th international ends unluckily for him with what appears to be a hamstring injury. And on goes David Langan. Very popular with the Irish support, but I don't think Jack Charlton would have chosen to make a defensive substitution had things been running according to plan. Fitness-wise, that is. They haven't been running according to plan up front, and there might have been room for another striker, or a change of strikers, but that now can't happen. Galvin to Brady. Stapleton in on the end, trying to get it back to Galvin. Langers, Reiter on McGrath. And a good challenge by Paul McGrath. Everything's going well for Ireland until they get into the final third. Let's see what happens here. Galvin on the run. Aldridge in the middle. And he just couldn't get on the end of that, couldn't shake clear of his marker. And it's still 1-0. Langers again. Free kick to Luxembourg. Well, John Aldridge's frustration time for him again. There's David Langan, back at right back. Brady. Galvin. Brady. Caught there by Malget. He's okay. That's McCarthy across to put it out of play. Benny Reiter, Luxembourg's winger. Back towards Reiter. Interesting point about him, he was a professional in Belgium until just 2 years ago, so he's plenty of experience. One of the men to whom Luxembourg look. A mistake by Byrne. Schonckert. That was a number 4 on the back of Carlo Weis. And now Weis still there. Langer's with him. Weis shoots. Corner save. And he knows, he's furious, he should have passed to Langers. They might well have beaten the Irish keeper. But again, Luxembourg showing that they do pose a threat. Well, there's nothing more they can do now. Both substitutes on. John Anderson leaving to the dressing room. Brady. Byrne. Numbers kept about. Now Whelan. Stapleton. And a goal kick to Luxembourg. Well, after that little interlude, Anderson has reappeared, clearly not going to spend the rest of the match in the bath, but well wrapped up and on the Irish bench to watch the progress of the match. Brady to Byrne. That just about sums it up. And look at this for speed. Langer's turning McCarthy. Reiter in the middle. That's play for him. Down he goes. They scream for a penalty, and the referee will have none of it, and rightly so. McGrath got in a good saving tackle, but that was a very dangerous break by Luxembourg. This is the team that Belgium beat 6-0. He must be furious. Langer's laid it into the path of Reiter. And it was just McGrath getting the foot in to get it away, nick it back to Bonner. But that was a dangerous passage for Ireland. We're back at the other end now with Ray Houghton. That hasn't gone out. Stapleton chasing. The ball given away once more. Luxembourg packing the penalty area, and there doesn't appear to be the wherewithal to find a way through. The goal that Tony Galvin scored, occasioned by a rare lapse on the part of the home defence. Bossi playing his way out of trouble. Weis. And now Langers. Ran kindly for him. Heller's ahead. Langer's shot. Well, frustration among them. Robby Langers, the dipping shot. Langers, who scored against Bulgaria and scored the last 3 goals that Luxembourg have notched up. Girres. And Reiter on the other wing now. The throw has been awarded to the Irish. Galvin on the ball. Looking for Stapleton. They're making life a bit difficult for themselves. Brady, much less influential than he was against Brazil. Finding John Byrne with a good ball, though. And Byrne down, and that's a free kick to Ireland. Well, that was certainly a very good ball by Liam Brady. John Byrne unable to scamper away from his marker. And it's given Ireland a free kick. But an hour of the match is now gone. It's a quarter of an hour of the second half that's elapsed. And the scoreline is still only 1-0 in Ireland's favour. The inferiority to the Belgians' goal difference is 8 goals. Half an hour of this match to go. Brady with the free kick. Looking for Houghton. And it appeared that they weren't aware of what was going to be tried. But they have a corner. Ray Houghton to Ronnie Whelan. Up goes McCarthy, unable to make contact. And the game will resume with a goal kick to Luxembourg. Frank Stapleton knows that 1-0 isn't really good enough. McGrath heading forward. Langan on for the injured John Anderson. Both Ireland substitutes have been used. John Byrne sent on for Kevin Moran, who'd also taken a knock at half-time. And Langan now in the game for John Anderson. Byrne. He did well there. Houghton. Byrne again. And now Brady. And here's Galvin to the left. Whelan to Aldridge. Whelan again. And Brady. A little bit of magic, and he kept his feet. And now Galvin. They're all queued up in the middle for him. Across him, finding the head of Aldridge. But it was only a touch. He couldn't get any power in it. That's an odd sort of a ball from the goalkeeper. Marcel. Benny Reiter and Langan. And in the middle is Hellers. Cut out by McGrath. And Langan knocked off it as Malget arrives very late indeed. But Langan thankfully is all right. This is turning into an evening of frustration. Of course it's 1-0, but 1-0 really isn't good enough. That's Marcel Bossi on the ground. The game is continuing. Reiter, well challenged by McCarthy. Houghton up to Stapleton. Bossi is still down. John Byrne. Galvin. He's now on his feet. The Luxembourg defence is fully manned. Galvin rolled for Whelan. Oh, yes! Well, Ronnie Whelan has scored some mighty important goals in his time, but it may well be that none is more important than that. Tony Galvin making the ground up the left, and the ball rolled into the path of Ronnie Whelan, and he packs a punch when he lets them go. And he follows on where Tony Galvin left off and scores his first goal for his country in his 22nd international appearance. Whelan rolled into his path, firmly stumped with the right foot, and beating the goalkeeper all ends up. And that is the man who was down through much of the build-up. Marcel Bossi finally getting his treatment. Now that certainly helps things along as far as the Irish cause is concerned. But we must wonder whether or not the fact that two players previously haven't scored for Ireland is significant. The regular goal scorers, if such they can be called, given a pretty dismal scoring record, the regular goal scorers haven't been delivering. Maybe there's a good omen there for John Aldridge, who also hasn't scored for Ireland. But this poor fella Bossi is in some considerable difficulty. Marcel Bossi, the regular left back for Luxembourg, works in a nursing home. Has played 36 internationals for the Grand Duchy. Well, will he go on or will he not? We'll have to wait to see, but Bossi wants to stay put. And play will restart some 2 minutes after the goal was scored. 64 minutes officially when that went in from Ronnie Whelan. So two first-time scorers make it Luxembourg 0, Republic of Ireland 2. And the goal difference between Belgium and Ireland now is a mere 7. So thanks, lads, but let's keep them coming. Barboni, Bossi, forced back, and Aldridge to try and put pressure on, but Weis was composed. Home thoughts from abroad in the background. Now that was a lot less dangerous than it looked. Stapleton on. And now McGrath. Oh, Whelan dispossessed by Benny Reiter. But McGrath's fast enough for that. I can't imagine that was where Mick McCarthy intended to put that. We're midway through the second half, which means we've now entered the final quarter of the game. And Ireland 2-0 in front, on the way to a win, but 2 points not altogether sufficient in terms of the group. John Byrne to David Langan, the two substitutes. Ray Houghton. And over the top for Houghton again. Oh dear, oh dear. Well, they've come from far and wide in Ireland, and indeed the Irish in Europe, to see this match. Blessington represented, Crumlin, Clondalkin, Drogheda, and fans of Drogheda, Shamrock Rovers and Bohemians. Flags all in evidence. Well, Luxembourg are making a substitution. Standing on Gerard Jeitz. Jeitz is a left-sided midfield player, plays for the team that operates out of here, Spora, and he's replacing Benny Reiter. The time of that substitution, 69 minutes. Just to continue the point about the Irish abroad, there are 500 of them live here. And they presented us with a very nice little fact sheet on arrival, telling us what to do and where, and how to go about it in Luxembourg. And the Irish have been coming in from all arts and parts to a very central point in Europe, Luxembourg, easy to attain on the motorways. And they came to see a win. They're going to see the win, but I think they would prefer to see a much more stylish win than this, and one that would have rather more significance in the overall scheme of things in Group 7 of the European Championship. Really need many more than 2 goals. There are now only 20 minutes left. Whelan to Galvin. He's had a good game. Bear in mind he's only 11 days back in training after that microsurgery on his knee. It speaks volumes to the commitment of Tony Galvin. John Byrne rather easily gets possessed. Now Weis, won back by Brady. Forward for Aldridge. And out of play. John Aldridge still seeking his first goal. It'd scarcely be a better place for him to notch it up. Nick McCarthy going to launch himself on the long run up. Langan. The line towards Houghton, but the pitch proving too narrow for him. Bossi still feeling his throat, but determined to carry on. The substitute, Jeitz. Hellers. Bossi played into trouble. Did well to get out of it. Stapleton, lay off for Byrne. Now Brady. And he's won the corner. The 2-0 really isn't enough. Their team hasn't been able to break down the disciplined Luxembourg rear guard in the way that they would have wished. Whelan, Stapleton knocked off it by Bossi, and the referee just not interested. Brady again. Aldridge down for John Byrne. And again, the problems all manifesting themselves in the final third of the field. Jeitz. Bossi. He'd be quite happy to do that. 2-0, eminently respectable. Well, they'd love to do better. They fully appreciate the limited nature of their resources and holding a team with class athletes in it. Liam Brady and Paul McGrath, Frank Stapleton. The 2-0 is eminently acceptable, bearing in mind that the Red Devils of Belgium beat them 6. Bulgaria's scores against Luxembourg were 4-1 and 3-0. Belgium have to play them a second time. That's Brady for Houghton, but Houghton misread the pace of the ball. Jack Charlton leaning back, but it can hardly be out of satisfaction the way things have gone. Time running out for Big Jack. To be fair, he did say when he took on the job that he was aiming for the next World Cup. European Championships would have been a bonus, but the way they're playing here, it looks like Germany is a forlorn dream. Quarter of an hour of the match to go, and it's only 2-0. It has to be stressed, only 2-0, because in these circumstances, a simple win is not enough. Just a quarter of an hour to notch some more. Have they got the wherewithal? Langan. Brady. Houghton. And Aldrich. And Houghton battling on. And Houghton is the one who fouled his man. Bossi losing the rag a little with Ray Houghton. But Luxembourg have the free kick. Marcel Bossi recovered from that bang in the throat. Meunier. Girres. And up to Malget. Well, Hellers didn't run for him. But this is the point of the game where the superior fitness of the Irish should tell. They're up against a team of 9 part-timers and only 2 full-time pros. A time when the advantage should be rammed home. But Luxembourg have been disciplined throughout, and the Irish haven't shown the spark that would be required. Aldrich couldn't make it count. And nobody picked up Girres, but he couldn't pick up the ball. Well, Mick McCarthy's been less troubled in this second half. There were a few anxious moments in the first, and he was taken for pace on one occasion in the second. But in the main, he's had a quieter game, largely to the fact that Luxembourg haven't really offered much threat as the game has worn on. They did, though, let's not forget, early on. But as the game has moved into its final quarter, so Luxembourg's efforts have diminished. Langers, Girres. Again, the player not having the pace to take advantage of what was a fair old ball from Robby Langers. Liam Brady. And David Langan. Houghton. Played in towards Aldrich. Down for Stapleton. Well, Frank hasn't the happiest of goal-scoring records. In the green shirt. 15 from 59 appearances. Gentlemen, in just the 17 goals he scored from 59 appearances. last goal was in the game in the Hazel Stadium last September. Firm header from McCarthy. Stapleton for Houghton. And a good ball for Houghton to chase, but Bossi had the pace. So he did get a touch. I thought so. Given out in the corner. A little over 10 minutes to go. Can they make this one count? The Irish set pieces have been disappointing in this match. Brady to take this one. And again, the keeper jumping with no one putting him under pressure. And that's meat and drink to any kind of goalkeeper. Langer's on the break. Langan comes back. Spotted Jeitz very well. And Whelan there and had to make that tackle. Dangerous moment for Ireland. Just 10 minutes now to go. And they know the sands of time have run their course almost, and that this is not the result that they wanted. Well, result perhaps, but certainly not the scoreline. Corner to Luxembourg. And Heller's allowed to turn on it. Paddy Bonner not happy with the defence in front of him. So another long one from the keeper. Stapleton for Byrne. And blocked by Meunier. And a corner is what results. And again, Brady will go to swing it into the middle. But this aspect of Ireland's play has been disappointing. The keeper, big lad, John Rijswijck, has dominated in the penalty area. And that was an attempted variation. Didn't come off. Now that's for Langan. He was offside. Langan made the run up the outside. But he was offside. Brady. And for Stapleton. Aldridge in the middle. The only one. Stapleton kept it in play, but that was just about all he could do. Or did he? Flag raised for the linesman on the near side, signifying that he did. Seven and a half minutes to go. 2-0 Ireland lead. 2 points about to be garnered. That's played through to Aldridge. But he couldn't get on the end of it. Another Luxembourg player down. Carlo Weis, back on his feet now. Girres. Now John Byrne. Falling over the legs of Robby Langers. It's a free kick to Ireland. Now Langan with a cross. Stapleton up and Aldridge! At long last, but it doesn't count. It doesn't count. Aldridge was offside. Langan with a super ball delivered towards Stapleton. The long ball. Stapleton with a fine knockdown, and Aldridge said to be offside. Difficult from this angle to tell, but they looked immediately to the linesman, and the linesman had his flag straight up. And in the meantime, while we were watching that, John Aldridge had his company work with the referee and has got himself booked. Well, it seemed legitimate from here. And after all the frustration, it would have been a fine way to celebrate. But it wasn't to be. And so after 1,071 minutes of international football, John Aldridge still without a goal. Langan, Stapleton for Langan again. And that's a foul. Bossi took him down. Well, in fact, the foul hasn't been awarded, which I find rather surprising, given the nature of the challenge. McCarthy misjudged the fine of that. We're into the final 5 minutes of normal time. 2-0 is the score in Ireland's favour. And Luxembourg are about to make their second substitution. Let's play through to John Byrne. And coming back to Langan. Cleared by Schonckert. And now Langer's chasing. That was a good interception by Ronnie Whelan. And Houghton going back. And Luxembourg can now make that substitution with throwing Jean-Paul Girres, a little fair-haired fella who operated on the right wing. And he gives way, or makes way rather, for Marc Thomé, who has just 3 minutes plus added time in which to make an expression. And the crowd appreciating the efforts of Jean-Paul Girres, a civil servant who ran the right-hand touchline very well. But they've given the young lad, the young striker, a chance for the final couple of minutes. Free kick against Ireland. 2.5 minutes plus stoppage time. There was a couple of minutes when Marcel Bossi was having treatment, so there could well be 4 minutes still to go, but there's no way now that the goals that Ireland needed are going to be scored. Even had Aldridge's counted, it would have made precious little difference to the overall picture. Aldridge pulled back there for a foul. He went in rather late, challenging for that ball. And Luxembourg, little Luxembourg, have planned well, stood their ground, and while they've lost, they certainly haven't been disgraced. Succeeded in frustrating Irish ambitions. But I think we have to be honest and say that as presently constituted and given the talent available, the Irish don't have the requisite goal-scoring talent. That shot, whistling past Pat Bonner's post, not quite as close as the crowd doing and eyeing would have tended to suggest. The ball played through to Langers, and he decided to have a pot, but it was always curling away from the goal. And that's away for another corner. Of course, we have to be honest and say, while Belgium got 6 here and we've managed just 2, the problems exist at home as well. Ireland, bear in mind, have yet to score in the European Championship at Lansdowne Road. So there are problems that have permeated the whole of their play in this group, and not just this one night. Whelan. Brady was ghosting in on the blind side and wouldn't come for him. Half a minute of normal time to go now. And then the stoppage time. And now it's Thomé. Thomé, the substitute. Langers. And away by Houghton. Tony Galvin. And the foot was up on Tony Galvin, so it's a free kick to Ireland. 45 minutes have been played. We're now into stoppage time. And it's a night of disappointment. Ireland with no kind of decent record against the Minnows. I remember back in the late 70s, John Giles' last match in charge, a 3-2 win in Cyprus when we all expected more. The crowd may still love the team, but they should really have delivered more than this if their pretensions in the group were to be taken seriously. Brady. Is there going to be a final flourish? Houghton couldn't keep it down. We'll give them full credit for keeping the singing going to the end. And there can be few better fans and supporters for a team, but the team has just found that it's not within its gift to deliver on their expectations. Stapleton to Byrne. The late tackle on Frank, but the ball has reached Houghton, and Aldridge at the back post, the cross not good enough for him. A minute and a half of added time gone. Brady now. Houghton, Langan, and Brady once more. Time for Whelan. Stapleton. And they won't give up until that final whistle is sounded. But the cause seemingly hopeless. Langan's with the cross. And indeed there is time for no more. His was the final action in the game. And the win has been achieved, but the manner of its achievement left a good deal to be desired, and it wasn't good enough to put Ireland back in contention.